Before human beings admired the gigantic cliffs and forests of Yosemite, before science understood the delicate balance of this ecosystem, there already existed a world where predators fought for every opportunity to survive. Between granite mountains, ancestral forests, and wild valleys, the most ferocious hunters lurk in silence, pursue their prey, and compete for dominance over a relentless territory. Welcome to Wild Yosemite, the brutal battle of the most ferocious predators. Please give us a like and subscribe to the channel to give us more motivation to keep creating quality content. Don't forget to comment below on what you thought of the video and tell us where you are watching from, so we can chat together. May God bless everyone with health, peace, and love for nature. Let's begin. Above the giant cliffs of Yosemite, where air currents rise from the deep valleys, the golden eagle dominates the skies as a supreme hunter. Its scientific name is Aquila chrysaetos, one of the most powerful birds of prey in North America. With a wingspan that can exceed 2 meters, it takes advantage of the wind to travel vast distances without barely moving its wings. Its nests are usually built on inaccessible rocky ledges, protected from most terrestrial predators. From those heights, breeding pairs can watch over wide territories of mountain, forest, and meadow. Its extraordinary sight allows it to detect minute movements at great distances on the ground. Rabbits, ground squirrels, and other small mammals form an important part of its diet in Yosemite. The eagle detects a rabbit moving through the vegetation of a meadow and begins to descend from great height. It leverages the air currents and the relief of the terrain to approach without drawing the prey's attention. When the precise moment arrives, it launches into a dizzying dive and extends its talons to capture the rabbit. The hunt ends in seconds, because very few prey can react to an attack arriving from the sky at such high speed. During the season of reproduction, both parents collaborate to protect the nest and feed the growing chicks. Adults transport food to the cliffs, where the young develop strength and skills before leaving the nest. Each generation learns to master the air currents that flow through the canyons and mountains of Yosemite. As a top aerial predator, the golden eagle helps regulate small mammal populations and maintains the ecological balance of the heights. Among the rugged granite peaks of the Sierra Nevada, where pine forests whisper beneath a deep blue sky, an agile shadow moves with a silent purpose. In this amphitheater of rock and wood, The cold air announces the arrival of a relentless cycle where only the most prepared will see the next dawn. The American black bear is not the strongest predator, but it is a master of opportunity and an architect of survival in verticality. With a weight that varies between 100 and 250 kilograms, its body is a perfect combination of muscular power and surprising flexibility. Unlike its larger relatives, it possesses short, curved claws that function as natural crampons to conquer the smoothest bark. On the threshold of winter, the bear enters a phase of hyperphagia, a frantic race to accumulate fat reserves before the snow covers everything. It must consume up to 20,000 calories daily, transforming every nut, berry, and insect into the energy needed for the great sleep. Its sense of smell is its most faithful compass, capable of detecting the trail of a food source from more than 3 kilometers away through the dense forest. The black bear is an omnivorous strategist that patrols from the deep valleys to the cliffs, located at an altitude of 3,000 meters. For him, a tree is not just a refuge, it is a vertical pantry and a sanctuary against the dangers patrolling the firm ground. It uses its agility to reach pine cones loaded with pine nuts in the highest branches, where other competitors do not dare to climb. Every movement in the heights is a risk calculation, a dance of balance over an abyss of granite and silence. In its constant search, it detects a wild beehive hidden on a thin branch, more than 15 meters above the ground. The black bear rises up the trunk with a power of hundreds of newtons, challenging gravity while the wind shakes its enormous body. The branch creaks under its 200 kilograms of weight, but its tactical precision allows it to reach the sweet treasure in an instant of pure tension. With a precise swipe, it secures its reward and descends quickly before the wood gives way to relentless physics. The success of this vertical incursion guarantees 1 more centimeter of body fat, a silent victory against the approaching cold. Without this vital reserve, hibernation in a cave at 0 degrees Celsius would be a certain death sentence for the giant. The black bear teaches us that in nature, the intelligence to find food is as lethal as the sharpest fang. In the eternal cycle of the Sierra Nevada, the survivor is the one who knows when to climb and when to wait in the shadow of the forest. Among the pine forests and dense thickets of Yosemite, a discreet predator moves without making a sound between shadows and fallen logs. It is the bobcat, known scientifically as Lynx rufus, one of the most adaptable hunters in North America. Although it is much smaller than a puma, it has developed strategies that allow it to survive in mountainous and forested environments year-round. Its agile legs and compact body allow it to move easily among rocks, shrubs, and uneven terrain. During cold winters, it must conserve energy carefully while continuing to search for food in an increasingly demanding landscape. Its sensitive ears catch faint sounds produced by birds and small animals hidden among the vegetation. Thanks to its spotted fur, it can blend perfectly with the combination of shadows, pine needles, and dry branches. Birds searching for seeds or insects near the ground represent a valuable opportunity for this opportunistic hunter. The bobcat detects a bird feeding among the bushes and immediately lowers its body. It advances slowly, using logs, grass, and shadows to hide every movement as it approaches. When the distance is sufficient, it leaps from cover with a sudden explosion of speed and precision. The hunt ends in seconds because the bobcat's success depends on surprising the prey before it has time to react. In addition to birds, it also captures rabbits, squirrels, and other small mammals that inhabit Yosemite's forests. Its ability to adapt to different food sources allows it to survive even when conditions become difficult. In the silent forests of Yosemite, the bobcat proves that a predator does not need great size to become an extraordinarily effective hunter. In the valleys, meadows, and open forests of Yosemite, an adaptable predator roams the landscape, taking advantage of every opportunity nature offers. It is the coyote, known scientifically as Canis latrans, one of the most successful mammals in North America. Its ability to adapt to different environments has allowed it to survive in deserts, mountains, forests, and plains. Unlike other large predators, it does not rely on a single strategy to get food. It can hunt alone, cooperate with small family groups, or take advantage of resources that other animals leave behind. Its intelligence allows it to modify its behavior quickly when environmental conditions change. Rabbits, rodents, birds, fruits, and even insects can be part of an extremely varied diet. This dietary flexibility allows it to thrive where other predators would find difficulty surviving. The coyote detects a rabbit moving through the tall grass and begins to follow it, staying out of its field of vision. It advances cautiously, using vegetation and terrain irregularities to approach without being discovered. When the distance is favorable, it accelerates suddenly and launches the attack before the prey finds refuge. The hunt ends quickly because The combination of patience, intelligence, and speed makes the coyote a very effective hunter. When food is scarce, it can also collaborate with other members of its group to increase the chances of success. Its characteristic howls help maintain contact between individuals dispersed over large territories. In Yosemite, the coyote proves that survival does not always belong to the strongest, but to the one who knows best how to adapt to any challenge. Beneath the twilight that tints the Sierra Nevada forests purple, a small and agile shadow slips through the manzanita bushes with absolute stealth. The gray fox is an enigma among canids, a strategist possessing a skill forbidden to the rest of its family, the ability to climb toward the sky. Weighing barely 4 kilograms, this small carnivore is equipped with semi-retractable claws that allow it to cling to wood as if it were a feline. The silence of the night is broken by the howl of a coyote, a much larger predator patrolling the ground in search of any trace of meat. Faced with the imminent threat, the gray fox does not rely on its terrestrial speed, but instead launches itself toward the rough trunk of an ancient oak. It ascends vertically to a height of 10 meters in a few seconds, using its hind legs to propel itself with the force of several newtons. From the safety of the high branches, the fox watches as the enemy passes below, frustrated by a physical boundary it cannot cross. This unique adaptation allows it not only to escape death, but also to access bird nests that other foxes could never reach. In the coolness of the night, at 10 degrees Celsius, the gray fox remains motionless in the heights, wrapped in its dense tail like a silver ghost. The gray fox teaches us that when the ground is a dangerous battlefield, survival lies in the ability to conquer a higher dimension. In the vast granite cathedrals of Yosemite, where mist dances among the giant sequoias, an invisible presence dictates the laws of the mountain. The puma is the absolute sovereign of the Sierra Nevada, a cinnamon-colored ghost that walks without leaving a trace on the sacred ground. With a weight of 80 kilograms of pure muscle, this athlete of nature possesses an explosive power that places it at the top of the biological pyramid. It is capable of making vertical jumps of 5 meters, conquering the highest ledges where the air is cold and silence is eternal. Its golden eyes catch every particle of light, allowing it to navigate rock labyrinths under the gloom of alpine storms. It patrols a massive territory of 200 square kilometers, protecting its domain with a vigilance that knows no rest. It is known as the Shadow of the Peaks, a being that observes everything from the heights of El Capitan without ever being detected by intruders. Its patience is its greatest virtue, a statue of flesh and bone that can remain motionless for hours while the world changes around it. It does not need to roar to demonstrate its authority. Its mere presence is an invisible wall that maintains the balance of wildlife. The puma is the indomitable heart of Yosemite, a reminder that true power lies in silence and the elegance of force. Beneath the amber sky of Yosemite, where alpine meadows begin to be tinged with frost, the silence is interrupted by the echo of a battle for legacy. The mule deer is the most emblematic herbivore of the Sierra Nevada, a watcher with massive ears that acts as the vital pulse of the mountain. With a weight reaching 150 kilograms in adult males, their branched antlers are crowns of bone forged for conflict and seduction. During the rutting season, the cold air is filled with the fury of males clashing their heads to claim the right to offspring. Its survival depends on extreme vigilance, using its 25-centimeter ears as acoustic radars capable of detecting the slightest crackle. They know that in the shadows of the Jeffrey Pines, the puma observes every one of their movements with lethal patience. Suddenly, tension explodes when the predator launches from a rock, forcing the deer into an explosive flight of coordinated vertical jumps. The mule deer uses its stotting technique to gain visibility and confuse the hunter while disappearing into the thicket at 60 kilometers per hour. The puma misses the impact by millimeters, and the prey disappears among the giant trunks, leaving only the trace of its will to live. In this game of life and death, the mule deer is the reminder that vigilance is the only real armor in the wild heart of Yosemite. The dance between hunter and prey maintains the sacred balance of a mountain where every heartbeat is one with instinct and courage. On the vertical walls, where gravity seems like a suggestion, the bighorn emerges as a sovereign of absolute balance on the most hostile peaks. Ovis canadensis is the gladiator of the summits, possessing massive and curved horns that can weigh up to 14 kilograms for each adult male. Its split hooves function as biological precision tools, allowing it to scale 60-degree slopes with an agility that defies logic. During the rutting season, males face each other in duels of brutal stamina, clashing their skulls in a roar that resonates 1 kilometer away. The impact of the horns generates a mechanical force of thousands of newtons, a massive power comparable to a low-speed vehicular crash. Its nervous system is protected by a double-layered skull with bony cavities that act as natural shock absorbers to absorb the energy of the blow. Despite its bony armor, it must maintain perpetual vigilance against the stealth of the puma patrolling the shadows of the Sierra Canyons. Its eyes, situated laterally, possess a 300-degree vision, detecting any biological anomaly in the immensity of the granite horizon. As a keystone species, its selective grazing shapes the alpine flora, maintaining the dynamic balance of the mountain ecosystems. The bighorn remains as the guardian of verticality, the spirit of the stone that reigns with nobility under the frigid mountain sun. Among the alpine meadows of the Sierra Nevada, where wildflowers dance under the frigid wind and granite peaks touch the clouds, a sturdy figure observes the horizon. The yellow-bellied marmot is not just a rodent, it is the eternal sentinel of the altitudes, a watcher that measures the pulse of the ephemeral summer. Weighing up to 5 kilograms, its body is designed to store the energy needed to survive the tyranny of the ice. It spends its mornings on hot rocks, absorbing the sun's heat to regulate its temperature in an environment that is usually at 10 degrees Celsius. Its life is a frantic race against time, a struggle to accumulate fat before winter closes the doors of the world. During only 4 months of activity, it must consume massive amounts of vegetation to prepare for a sleep that will last the rest of the year. It lives in organized social colonies, where communication is the only real armor against the predators patrolling the sky and land. While the troop feeds on tender shoots, a dominant male positions himself on the highest rock as an infallible biological radar. His dark eyes scan every shadow, searching for the silhouette of a golden eagle or the stealthy movement of a fox among the brush. The silence of the afternoon is charged with an electrical tension when a massive shadow is projected from the deep blue of the sky. A golden eagle descends in a deadly dive, becoming an arrow of talons ready to claim its tribute in the meadow. The guard marmot emits a sharp and piercing whistle that resonates throughout the valley like a war siren. The air is torn by the alert cry and, in an instant, chaos takes hold of the colony searching for refuge under the stones. The predator strikes the air with a devastating impact force, extending its talons a few meters from its objective. The marmot launches headfirst into the deep tunnel, feeling the wind of the attack brush its thick fur. Only 3 seconds separate life from a certain death under the weight of the sovereign of the air in the heat of the hunt. The eagle hits the empty ground, kicking up granite dust, while its prey disappears into the protective darkness of the earth. The colony remains in silence, waiting for the shadow to disappear before resuming its tireless feeding task. The success of the escape guarantees that the life cycle continues, making the 8-month sleep under the snow possible. The marmot teaches us that in the immensity of the mountain, constant vigilance is the price of freedom and life. Under the golden sun that warms the steep slopes of the Sierra Nevada, a small sentinel emerges from the ground to scan the horizon. The California ground squirrel is not just a restless rodent. It is a master of tactical survival in a world full of threats. It builds complex underground labyrinths that extend for several meters, transforming the ground into a fortress against predators. In this hostile environment, every trip outside is a challenge against coyotes, golden eagles, and rattlesnakes. It uses its dense tail as a warning flag, waving it vigorously to communicate the presence of danger to the entire colony. It emits sharp and rhythmic whistles that inform the group about the exact nature of the threat, whether from the air or the ground. Faced with a rattlesnake, the squirrel deploys an amazing defense, waving its tail to emit infrared signals that confuse the reptile. Sometimes they rub their fur with shed snake skin to mask their own scent and deceive the smell of the cold-blooded hunters. Suddenly, a snake launches from the brush with an impact of several newtons, seeking the neck of the small mammal. The squirrel rears with an explosive speed of 15 kilometers per hour, performing acrobatic turns to evade the deadly fang. Only 3 seconds of pure reflexes decide if the animal manages to reach the safety of its tunnel or if it succumbs to the venom. The predator hits the empty ground while the squirrel disappears into the darkness of the earth, leaving behind only a cloud of dust. The life of the California ground squirrel is a lesson in infinite resistance and how intelligence can overcome brute force. In the wild balance of the Sierra Nevada, the small sentinel remains the engine that keeps the meadow network alive. It teaches us that true greatness lies in the ability to protect the home with cunning, courage, and a vigilance that never rests. Among the warm rocks, dry trails, and sunny clearings of Yosemite, a silent predator waits motionless for a prey to approach too closely. It is the western rattlesnake, one of the most emblematic reptiles of the ecosystems of western North America. Its scientific name is Crotalus oreganus, a species perfectly adapted to rocky terrain, open forests, and semi-arid zones. Although it rarely seeks conflict, it possesses one of the most recognizable defense systems in the animal world. The characteristic sound of its rattle serves as a warning to avoid dangerous encounters with much larger animals. Its body features patterns that blend perfectly with stones, dry leaves, and vegetation-covered ground. Thanks to this camouflage, it can remain hidden for hours while waiting for a hunting opportunity. Rodents constitute a fundamental part of its diet and represent an abundant resource in many areas of Yosemite. The snake detects a small rodent moving among the nearby vegetation and remains motionless, observing every movement. It waits patiently while the prey approaches, relying on its camouflage to remain completely unnoticed. When the distance is appropriate, it launches an extremely fast attack and reaches the prey before it can react. The hunt ends thanks to a strategy based on patience, precision, and energy efficiency. As a specialized predator, it helps control rodent populations that could increase rapidly in the absence of natural enemies. In turn, It is part of a complex ecological network where it can also become prey for birds of prey and other predators. In Yosemite, the western rattlesnake proves that even the most discreet hunters can play an essential role in the balance of nature. Among the centennial oaks of Yosemite, where the autumn air smells of dry wood and the sun filters through golden leaves, an incessant hammering resonates. This rhythm is not a coincidence. It is the music of a biological obsession that has transformed the bark of trees into a massive warehouse. A single trunk can house thousands of holes, a work of engineering designed to resist the hunger of the coldest months. The acorn woodpecker is the tireless architect of the Sierra Nevada, a being with the face of a clown, but with absolute strategic seriousness. Weighing only 80 grams, this little engineer is capable of mobilizing its entire family to build a food fortress. The survival of the colony depends on the massive accumulation of seeds, a race against time before snow covers the valley. In this environment of 15 degrees Celsius, every grain of energy is a treasure that must be protected with eternal vigilance. They select a granary tree, drilling into solid wood with an impact force of several newtons with each beak stroke. Each hole is carved to the exact measure of an acorn, ensuring that the seed is wedged in and cannot be easily stolen. It is a cooperative labor where all members of the group patrol the oak groves to collect the season's bounty. The granary tree becomes a living wall of food, a structure that can contain more than 50,000 acorns on its surface. They maintain the inventory with astonishing precision, moving seeds to smaller holes as they dry and shrink. The defense of the granary is a constant war against forest thieves who covet the colony's effort. A grey squirrel stealthily approaches the trunk, trying to steal an acorn from the lower part of the wooden fortress. Suddenly, a shrill war cry activates the defense, and several woodpeckers dive at the intruder. Only 3 seconds of coordinated attacks with their sharp beaks force the squirrel to retreat quickly into the brush. The granary is safe, but the price is a vigilance that knows no rest under the sun or rain of Yosemite. The acorn woodpecker is the engine that redistributes life, allowing new oaks to be born kilometers away from the tree mother. Its existence teaches us that hard work and family unity are the only tools capable of building a secure future. In the eternal cycle of the forest, this little architect is the reminder that true wealth is that which is built and protected with perseverance. Beneath the crystal waterfalls that feed the rivers of the Sierra Nevada, where the meltwater flows at 4 degrees Celsius, the cold is the breath of the mountain. Among the moss-covered rocks and vast currents, a hydrodynamic silhouette breaks the surface with an elegance that challenges the river's strength. The North American river otter is a freshwater warrior, a restless spirit wrapped in dense, waterproof fur. Weighing 10 kilograms. This small predator possesses an agility that makes it the absolute owner of fluvial ecosystems. It is not the largest animal in the valley, but its intelligence and maneuvering capacity place it as a formidable strategist of the current. Survival in these frigid waters demands constant energy, forcing the otter to hunt for much of the day to maintain its body heat. Every immersion is a massive expenditure of calories that must be compensated with a successful catch before the cold weakens its muscles. Otters are deeply social beings, living in family groups where play is the main tool for learning and survival. They move across snowbanks at a speed of 20 kilometers per hour, transforming the hillside into a slide of joy and tactical training. Play reinforces family bonds and prepares the young to face treacherous currents and the predators patrolling the shore. They patrol their territory with an insatiable curiosity, searching every corner of the river for fish, crustaceans, and hidden amphibians. In the water, the otter moves at a speed of 10 kilometers per hour, using its muscular tail as a rudder of millimeter precision. It locates a rainbow trout hidden among submerged roots, calculating the angle of attack in the gloom of the deep bed. The underwater silence explodes when the otter launches like a dark-furred projectile toward its unsuspecting prey. The trout tries to escape with desperate turns, but the predator's agility is an insurmountable wall of reflexes and speed. In just 3 seconds of frenetic pursuit, the jaws close over the fish, securing victory in the freezing current. It emerges to the surface with the bounty, where the rest of the family celebrates the success with cries and rhythmic movements in the water. The success of the hunt guarantees the internal warmth needed to resist the nights when the wind blows down from the snowy peaks of Yosemite. The river otter teaches us that in nature, optimism and joy can be the best weapons to face a relentless environment. In the balance of the Sierra Nevada, this little warrior is the reminder that life always finds a way to dance among the ice. Among the river valleys of the Sierra Nevada, where glacial water descends with wild force, a constant presence works to tame the current. The North American beaver is not a warrior with sharp fangs, but nature's most influential architect, a being capable of redesigning the map of the land. Weighing 30 kilograms and with a dense fur that repels moisture, this warm-blooded engineer dedicates every hour of its life to building a legacy. After humans, it is the animal that most alters the landscape, transforming fast rivers into serene ponds that house a universe of biodiversity. Its survival depends on the depth of the water, a vital barrier to protect its home from terrestrial predators and 5-degree Celsius ice. Armed with teeth reinforced with iron, it can fell trunks 20 centimeters in diameter in a few minutes, using the wood as bricks for its fortress. It raises walls of branches, rocks, and mud that challenge the physics of the current, creating dams more than 50 meters long in the heart of the forest. The pond, created by its effort, becomes an oasis, a sanctuary where water birds, fish, and amphibians find a safe home. Its work regulates the flow of water, filtering sediment and maintaining the meadow's moisture during the mountain's most extreme droughts. The entrance to its burrow is always submerged, a secret tunnel leading to a dry and warm chamber where the family rests from the external cold. While working on the shore, the coyote watches from the brush, waiting for a single oversight from the engineer to launch a definitive attack. Detecting danger, the beaver strikes the water surface with its 30-centimeter flat tail, sending a warning signal that resonates like a gunshot. A sudden storm raises the river level, threatening to destroy the wall it has taken months to perfect with mud and branches. The beaver fights against the force of thousands of newtons, moving heavy rocks to reinforce the base of its dam under the relentless rain. It works tirelessly throughout the night, plugging cracks with a tactical precision that guarantees the integrity of its masterpiece. Only 3 seconds of contact with fresh mud are enough to seal the last gap before the wall gives way to hydraulic pressure. At dawn, the pond remains calm. The beaver has defeated nature using its own raw material to save its family. The price of success is extreme physical wear and an exhaustion that only the submerged refuge can alleviate under the calm of the forest. The North American beaver teaches us that true power is not that which destroys, but that which builds and creates dimpled life for others. In the balance of the Sierra Nevada, this little engineer is the guardian of moisture, the cornerstone that sustains the fabric of the forest ecosystem. From the infinite blue of the Pacific Ocean to the mouths of rivers, roaring among the mountains, one of the most epic odysseys of wildlife begins. The Chinook salmon, known as the king, is a silver athlete designed by evolution to conquer the current and time. Weighing up to 60 kilograms, this migratory giant possesses a muscular force capable of propelling it against tons of moving water. Its life is a cycle of constant transformation, changing the silver shine of the sea for an intense red as it enters the freshwater rivers. The call of origin is an infallible biological compass that guides it back to the same mountain stream where it was born years ago. Survival on this trip demands absolute resistance, traveling more than 1,000 kilometers of adverse currents without ingesting a single calorie. Its body burns the reserves accumulated in the ocean, transforming fat into the pure fuel needed to reach the peaks. The river becomes a battlefield of foam and rocks, where every meter gained is a victory of will over physics. It faces violent rapids and waterfalls that rise like walls of liquid crystal under the 15 degrees Celsius sun. In the narrow passages, predators like the grizzly bear wait patiently, knowing the exhaustion of the fish is their greatest opportunity. The salmon uses its powerful tail to generate an impulse of hundreds of newtons, launching itself into the air in a 3-meter-high leap of faith. The water hits its body with devastating pressure, trying to knock it down again toward the abyss of the rocks. Only 3 seconds of desperate flight decide if the warrior manages to overcome the top of the waterfall or if it falls into the jaws of hunger. With a last frantic effort, the salmon breaks the crest of the water and reaches the calm gravel beds of the headwaters. Here, under the shadow of the conifers, it deposits the thousands of eggs that ensure the spark of the next generation. Its mission finished, its exhausted body begins to decompose, delivering its accumulated energy back to the mountain ecosystem. Nutrients brought from the ocean feed eagles, foxes, and even the giant trees that border the river. The Chinook salmon is the messenger of life, the bridge that unites the immensity of the sea with the deep heart of the forest. Its sacrifice teaches us that the end of a journey is often the sacred fertilizer for the beginning of thousands of new lives. In the balance of nature, the Silver King remains the legend that travels against the current to write the history of eternity. On the western slopes of the Sierra Nevada, where sunlight filters like gold between columns of infinite wood, the oldest beings on Earth rise. The giant sequoia is not just a tree, it is a cathedral of life that has seen millennia pass under its majestic shadow. With a height exceeding 80 meters and a base diameter of more than 10 meters, this titan is nature's largest sculpture. Its existence is measured in centuries. Some specimens have breathed for more than 3,000 years, surviving empires and geological eras. It possesses a bark 60 centimeters thick, a shield of tannins that protects it from fungi, insects, and purifying fire. This living skyscraper functions as a vertical ecosystem, a safe refuge for hundreds of species inhabiting its cracks and branches. The Douglas squirrel, known as the chickaree, is a constant inhabitant moving with frantic agility 50 meters above the ground. Among the massive branches, the spotted owl finds a perfect watchtower to guard the forest under the light of the silvery moon. Thousands of insects and spiders inhabit the labyrinth of its bark, creating a network of microscopic life that feeds small birds. In the heights of the canopy, where the air is fresh at 15 degrees Celsius, epiphytic plants grow on the ancient wood, capturing moisture. Suddenly, a winter storm hits the Sierra with 120 km/h winds, threatening to knock down everything in its path. The forest animals take refuge in the sequoia's cavities, seeking the protection of its immovable structure of thousands of tons. The tree sways with a massive impact force, but its roots, intertwined with other giants, keep it firm against the fury of the air. In just 3 seconds of a deafening creak, the titan resists nature's onslaught and protects the beings trusting in its strength. The storm passes and silence returns to the forest, leaving the sequoia as the eternal victor of the struggle against the elements. The success of its resistance guarantees that the vertical ecosystem continues to thrive for another century on the mountain slope. The giant sequoia teaches us that true greatness lies in the ability to be a refuge for life while touching the sky. It is the pillar of time, a sacred presence uniting the deep earth with the infinite blue of the Sierra Nevada. As long as the last giant remains standing, the forest will keep its ancestral memory and the hope that life will always find a home. In the dance of centuries, the sequoia is the heart that beats with the strength of the earth and the wisdom of the sun. In the vast amphitheater of Yosemite, the cycle of the sun dictates the destiny of every creature, from the smallest ant to the most colossal sequoia. When spring arrives, the white mantle of snow is transformed into crystal waterfalls falling from heights of 700 meters. The meadows explode in life, a tapestry of color where deer and bears find the first nutrients after a long fast. But paradise is brief, as the summer sun raises the temperature to 30 degrees Celsius, drying the small mountain streams. Dust and heat transform the forest into a battlefield where the search for water becomes a test of life or death. Autumn arrives with a golden light, signaling that time is running out for those who must survive the imminent frost. Squirrels and woodpeckers transform ancient oaks into seed bunkers, storing thousands of acorns for the winter. Suddenly, the first storm of the season hits the Sierra, burying the landscape under 3 meters of snow in a single night. The forest enters a state of deep silence, where the mountain's pulse slows to a minimum to conserve energy. Bears disappear into their granite caves, while pumas hunt like ghosts in the white shadow of the storm. Winds of 100 kilometers per hour whip the treetops, testing the resistance of the forest's oldest pillars. Each animal must choose between migration, storage, or deep sleep in only 3 seconds of pure instinct. Many will fall, but those who have mastered the rhythm of the seasons will emerge again with the next thaw. Nature has no mercy for the weak. It only rewards the strategist who knows how to adapt to the changing face of the sky. The 4 seasons of Yosemite are the eternal sculptor of a world where life is a perpetual race against the calendar. The majestic sanctuary of Yosemite, which has resisted eons under the California sky, today faces a silent but devastating threat in its history. Rising global temperatures alter the water cycle, reducing the snowpack that feeds the mountain's sacred rivers and waterfalls. Forest fires become more ferocious and frequent, fueled by the extreme drought that turns millennial wood into fuel ready to burn. Even the giant sequoias, which have survived centuries of natural fire, struggle to resist massive flames that exceed 50 meters in height. The pressure of millions of annual visitors compacts the soil and disturbs the silence that pumas and black bears need to thrive in freedom. Habitat fragmentation forces wildlife to take refuge in increasingly smaller spaces, increasing the risk of conflicts with the modern world. Only 3 seconds of human oversight can unleash a catastrophe that erases in an afternoon what nature took 3,000 years to build. Protecting Yosemite is a moral duty to ensure that the heartbeat of the forest continues to resonate in the granite and in the spirit of future generations. We must be the guardians of this jewel of the biosphere, reducing our footprint and respecting the balance of this ecosystem unique on the planet. As long as Yosemite conserves its untamable nature, the world will have a refuge of peace where wildlife will continue to be the absolute owner of time. Subscribe to the channel and share this video to carry this message of respect far and wide. Every gesture helps protect nature's wonderful creation. Before mankind conquered the snowy peaks, before science understood life at extreme altitudes, there already existed a world where the icy wind and the cliffs decide who survives. In the imposing Alps, between steep slopes, deep forests, and endless snow, predators move in silence, stalk and dominate this relentless land. Welcome to the wild Alps, the kingdom of predators on the infinite peaks. Please give us a like and subscribe to the channel to give us more motivation to keep creating quality content. Don't forget to comment below on what you thought of the video and tell us where you are watching it from so we can converse together. May God bless everyone with health, peace and love for nature. Let's begin. On the steep peaks of the European Alps, the golden eagle stands as the absolute monarch of the winds and rocks. This legendary raptor, known scientifically as Aquila chrysaetos, dominates a realm of icy air and vertical slopes. Its wingspan can reach 2.3 meters, a wing structure designed by evolution to glide effortlessly over the deepest abysses. Weighing up to 7 kilograms, this predator combines an imposing physical mass with an aerial agility that defies the laws of physics. Its vision is a biological marvel, equipped with foveal cells that allow it to detect a chamois from more than 3 kilometers away. The eagle's eyes act as telescopic lenses, processing images with a sharpness 8 times greater than that of the human eye. On the alpine slopes, the eagle watches its target, a juvenile chamois moving agilely over the slippery rocks. The hunter uses thermal currents to silently gain altitude, positioning itself in the blind spot of the sun to hide its shadow. The strategy begins with a stalk from the stratosphere, where the eagle folds its wings to minimize air resistance. In a deadly dive, the eagle reaches a speed of 320 kilometers per hour, transforming into a biological projectile of lethal precision. The impact of its talons against the prey generates a devastating kinetic energy, capable of unbalancing an animal that doubles its weight. Its 8 retractable talons measure 15 centimeters long and act as daggers that instantly pierce vital organs. The squeezing force exerted by its feet reaches 1,500 newtons, exceeding the gripping power of any human hand. In a display of masterly tactics, the eagle does not try to kill the chamois on the spot, but deliberately pushes it toward the abyss. Gravity becomes its final weapon, as the chamois falls hundreds of meters down the rocky slope after the bird's push. Once the prey lies motionless, the eagle descends elegantly to claim its prize among the snow and stones. Its powerful hooked beak is capable of tearing the tough hide of the chamois, extracting the meat necessary to feed its offspring. This predator defends a territory of up to 150 square kilometers, patrolling its borders with display flights that warn other intruders. The nests or breeding platforms, built in inaccessible crevices, are fortresses of branches that can measure 2 meters in diameter. The golden eagle plays a crucial role as a regulator of mountain mammal populations, maintaining the biological integrity of the Alps. Its existence is the supreme symbol of freedom and wild power that still survives in the most inhospitable heights of the planet. After decades of absence, a legendary ghost returns to the shadows of the alpine peaks to reclaim its lost throne in the natural hierarchy. The grey wolf, known scientifically as Canis lupus, emerges once again as the ultimate strategist that balances life in the heights. Its recolonization extends across the forested borders of Italy, France, and Switzerland, marking the return of a vital ecological balance. This predator is a masterpiece of adaptive evolution, with a dense coat that protects it from temperatures that drop to 30 degrees Celsius below zero. Its paws are tools of biological engineering, with wide pads that function as natural snowshoes to move without sinking. With a weight ranging between 30 and 50 kilograms, the grey wolf of the Alps possesses an athletic build designed for pure endurance. Its senses are tuned for survival, with a sense of smell 100 times more powerful than a human's, capable of detecting prey 2 kilometers away. Its mobile ears can capture ultrasound frequencies, allowing it to hear the slight rustling of a rodent under a 1-meter layer of snow. Collective intelligence is its most fearsome weapon, operating in coordinated packs where each individual fulfills a specific tactical role. The stalk begins in the gloom of the forest, where wolves move in single file to hide the real number of pack members. Upon locating a group of deer, the pack deploys in a perfect semicircle, cutting off escape routes toward more open terrain. The chase is a demonstration of brutal stamina, where the wolf can run at 60 kilometers per hour for several kilometers until exhausting its prey's lungs. Once the victim falters, the alpha wolf leads the final attack, using its jaws to immobilize with a force of 2,700 newtons. This pressure is sufficient to crush the toughest bone, far exceeding the bite force of any domestic dog breed. Unlike other solitary hunters, the wolf uses psychological and physical wear, turning the landscape into a trap with no exit. The wolf's howl is a signal of power that can be heard 10 kilometers away, a sonorous border that delimits its vast hunting territory. Each pack defends a domain of up to 300 square kilometers, patrolling tirelessly to ensure the exclusivity of its resources. As a keystone species, the return of the wolf causes a trophic cascade that regenerates the local flora by controlling the excess of herbivores. Its presence forces deer and roe deer to keep moving, allowing young forests to grow again on the eroded slopes. The grey wolf is not just a predator, but an ecosystem architect that restores the biological health of the alpine mountains. The respect and fear that its figure instills are the testimony of a warrior that never surrenders to the adversity of the eternal winter. Above the forests where the wolf reigns, on the rock walls that challenge the sky, dwells the most daring climber of the entire mountain range. The alpine ibex, known scientifically as Capra ibex, is a creature forged in granite and ice, a symbol of absolute resistance. This ungulate possesses a unique anatomical design that allows it to navigate vertical slopes with an agility that seems to ignore gravity. In late summer, when the air begins to cool, The calm of the high peaks is broken by an electrical tension between the males. The adult males, which can reach a weight of 100 kilograms, begin to gather on the highest slopes to establish their hierarchy. Their most distinctive weapon is their imposing scimitar-shaped horns, which can grow to reach a length of 1 meter. These horns are not simple ornaments, but tools of war composed of solid keratin and a reinforced bone core for impact. The structure of their hooves is a marvel of friction, with hard edges and a soft center that adheres to the stone like biological suction cups. On the natural ledges located at an altitude of 3,000 meters, the gladiators of the heights prepare for the great clash of titans. The battle for dominance does not begin with physical contact, but with visual intimidation and a display of static force. The rivals measure each other, evaluating the muscle mass and the span of the opponent's defenses with a gelid gaze. When tension reaches its limit, the challenger emits a sharp whistle that signals the end of diplomacy and the start of hostilities. In a movement choreographed by evolution, both males rise on their hind legs, doubling their apparent height over the abyss. This bipedal posture allows them to use the potential energy of their weight to drastically increase the destructive power of the downward blow. They lunge forward with a controlled violence, clashing their horns in the air with a dry impact that echoes throughout the valley. The sound of the clashing keratin is so powerful that it can be heard at a distance of 1 kilometer in the thin mountain air. The force generated at the moment of contact can exceed 7,000 newtons, a pressure capable of pulverizing the bones of a common animal. However, the brain of the ibex is protected by a system of double bone cavities that function as high-resistance shock absorbers. The combatants repeat this ritual again and again, pushing each other with their foreheads and locking their horns to measure neck resistance. The muscles of their shoulders are extremely dense, capable of absorbing torsions that would break a steel structure. These fights are tests of pure stamina, where fatigue is the main enemy rather than the opponent's strength. Dust rises from the cliffs as their hooves seek traction on the edge of a precipice with a 500-meter free fall. Unlike other predators, these ritual confrontations rarely result in fatal wounds, seeking only social recognition. After hours of exhausting struggle, one of the males finally bows his head and slowly retreats in a sign of absolute submission. The winner establishes his priority right over the best grazing areas before the snow completely covers the landscape. This hierarchical order ensures that the strongest genes are perpetuated, guaranteeing the survival of the species in the extreme climate. With the arrival of winter, the alpine ibex must survive on a meager diet of lichens buried under 2 meters of snow. Its metabolism is drastically reduced, allowing them to conserve vital energy when the temperature drops to 25 degrees Celsius below zero. As a keystone species of the heights, the ibex shapes the vegetation of the cliffs, creating niches for rare plants and other animals. In addition, They are the ultimate prey for the golden eagle, establishing a vital link in the trophic web of the most inhospitable peaks. Every scar on their horns and every growth ring tells the story of a survivor that has beaten time and gravity. At the conclusion of the battle season, silence returns to the mountain, only interrupted by the roar of the gelid wind from the glaciers. The warriors of the summits rest now, recovering the strength necessary to face the final challenge of the eternal winter. The presence of the ibex in the Alps is the living testimony of the majesty and the indomitable will of wild nature. They are the silent guardians of the granite, observing from their rock thrones a world that few humans manage to see. The cycle of dominance will repeat next year, ensuring that the spirit of the heights is never extinguished under the ice. On the dizzying border between the rock and the abyss dwells an acrobat whose life is a constant dance on the edge of the cliff. The chamois, known scientifically as rupicapra rupicapra, is the symbol of extreme agility in the heart of the Alps. With a weight ranging between 25 and 60 kilograms, its compact body is designed for speed in terrains where any other animal would collapse. Their horns, present in both sexes, are short and hooked backward, a minimalist but effective defense in close encounters. The true superpower of the chamois resides in its hooves, equipped with hard keratin edges and internal pads of astonishing grip. This biological design functions like high-tech climbing footwear, allowing it to run on smooth granite with absolute confidence. Beneath its coat, an oversized heart and blood rich in hemoglobin grant it a physical endurance that exceeds that of the best human athletes. Suddenly, the tranquility of the afternoon is broken when a dark silhouette appears in the sky. The golden eagle has initiated its deadly descent. The chamois detects the threat thanks to its 360-degree peripheral vision, catching the slightest change in light above it. With a warning whistle that echoes in the rocks, the group disperses in an explosion of pure energy and instinctive coordination. The chase begins, and the chamois lunges down slopes of 70 degrees of inclination as if gravity had no power over it. On flat ground, it can reach a speed of 50 kilometers per hour, but its real advantage emerges in the chaos of scree slopes. It performs prodigious leaps of up to 2 meters high and 6 meters long, crossing crevices that would stop any terrestrial predator. Its joints are reinforced to absorb impacts equivalent to several times its own weight in each forced landing. The golden eagle tries to intercept its trajectory, but the chamois uses sharp, 180-degree turns to break the bird's line of attack. It is a battle of physics and reflexes, where a single millisecond determines who lives to see the dawn of the next day. The stamina of the chamois is legendary. Its lungs process the thin mountain air with unmatched thermal and biological efficiency. After several minutes of a frantic escape, the chamois takes refuge in a narrow rock chimney where the eagle's wings cannot maneuver. The raptor retreats, defeated by the tactical mastery of an animal that has turned danger into its natural habitat. Once the danger has passed, the chamois resumes its activity, grazing on lichens and alpine grasses with a calm that belies the previous chaos. These animals live in social groups, led by experienced females who know every secret escape route of the mountain. The chamois fulfills a crucial ecological mission by dispersing seeds at altitudes where plant life struggles to thrive. Its presence guarantees that the food chain remains active, serving as sustenance both for eagles and for the wolves that patrol the lower forest. In the great theatre of the Alps, the chamois is the spirit of resistance, a reminder that agility is as powerful as brute force. Each winter, they face temperatures of 20 degrees Celsius below zero, surviving under layers of snow that exceed 3 meters. Their will to live is unshakable, carved by the gelid wind and the millenary rocks that are their only home. The chamois remains as the sentinel of the summits, observing the world from the most inaccessible heights of the planet. As long as the mountains exist, its silhouette will continue to cross the cliffs like a ray of life in the middle of the eternal cold. In the deep silence of the forested slopes, a ghost with golden eyes returns from the shadows of extinction to reclaim its place in the alpine hierarchy. The Eurasian lynx, known scientifically as lynx, is the third largest predator in Europe and the most robust cat on the continent. After having disappeared from much of its original territory due to human persecution, this carnivore stars in one of the most astonishing comebacks in modern biology. Its appearance is unmistakable, highlighting the tufts of black hair at the tips of its ears that function as high-precision antennas. These terminal structures allow it to detect the exact direction of a sound from more than 50 meters away, even if the emitter is underground. With a weight that can reach 30 kilograms, its body is covered by a dense and spotted coat that blends perfectly with the forest shadows. Its paws are true biological snowshoes, with a wide surface area that distributes its weight to walk on white blankets without sinking. The lynx possesses extraordinary night vision thanks to the tapetum lucidum, a reflective layer that multiplies the scarce moonlight in the taiga. Unlike the wolf, the lynx is an ambush strategist, a master of patience who can wait motionless for hours to deliver the final blow. Its hunting technique is based on absolute stealth, moving with a lightness that does not break a single dry leaf under its retractable claws. Upon detecting a roe deer, the lynx reduces the distance to less than 10 meters before initiating an explosive acceleration. In a leap of surgical precision, the cat reaches its prey's jugular with a bite force of 500 newtons. This power is more than enough to subdue prey that weighs 3 times more than itself, consolidating its status as an elite predator. In terms of comparison, its top speed of 80 kilometers per hour places it as one of the fastest runners of the temperate forests. The lynx is a solitary inhabitant that requires extensive territories of up to 200 square kilometers to ensure sufficient food sources. The reintroduction of the lynx in the Alps has been fundamental to control the populations of herbivores that degrade the health of the young forest. As an alpha predator, its presence generates an architecture of fear that forces deer to avoid sensitive areas, allowing natural regeneration. Each cub born in the wild represents one step further from the abyss of definitive extinction to which it was pushed a century ago. The Eurasian lynx continues to patrol the invisible paths of the mountains, reminding us that nature has an extraordinary capacity for recovery. Its low growl and its penetrating gaze are the soul of the Alps, the wild pulse that should never have stopped beating on these summits. In the heart of the densest forests and the most remote slopes emerges a force of nature that embodies absolute power and resistance: the brown bear. Known scientifically as Ursus arctos, this titan is the largest terrestrial mammal of the temperate regions, a true monarch of mountain ecosystems. Its imposing build can reach a weight of 350 kilograms in the specimens of the Alps, although its relatives in other regions far exceed this figure. It possesses a hump of massive muscles over its shoulders, a reserve of pure power that it uses to dig and deal devastating blows. Its limbs are armed with 10-centimeter-long claws, biological tools designed to tear rotten wood or defend itself from any intruder. The sense of smell of the brown bear is its most prodigious sense, being 2,000 times more powerful than that of the human being and superior even to that of the most trained dog. This biological nose allows it to detect a food source or the presence of a competitor from more than 10 kilometers away. Before the arrival of winter, the brown bear prepares for its most difficult battle against extreme cold, accumulating a layer of fat of up to 15 centimeters. During hyperphagia, it can consume up to 40,000 kilocalories a day, transforming every gram of protein into vital energy for hibernation. Inside its den, its heart rate drops from 40 to only 8 beats per minute to conserve resources, while the outside temperature drops to 30 degrees Celsius below zero. However, the brown bear is not just a passive survivor. It is a formidable warrior when it comes to protecting its territory or its offspring. Despite its robust appearance, this giant can run at a speed of 50 kilometers per hour, easily outrunning any Olympic athlete on rugged terrain. In a hostile encounter, the bear rises on its hind legs, reaching a height of 3 meters, an intimidation tactic that freezes the heart of its enemies. Its jaw is equipped for destruction, with a bite force that reaches 8,000 newtons, enough to crush a bowling ball or the skull of a large mammal. The females are especially dangerous, demonstrating an unmatched maternal fury if they perceive that a pack of wolves is stalking their cubs. A single blow of its forepaw can break a deer's spine instantly, releasing a massive kinetic energy accumulated in its muscles. The brown bear is a keystone species that acts as an ecosystem engineer, dispersing thousands of seeds across its vast domains of 500 square kilometers. By digging in search of roots and bulbs, it aerates the mountain soil, allowing water and nutrients to penetrate deeply into the earth. Its existence is the pulse of the wild mountain, a reminder of the brute force and adaptive intelligence that govern the natural world. In the eternal struggle between life and ice, the brown bear remains as the indomitable titan that never retreats before adversity. As the guardian of nature's cycles, its awakening in spring symbolizes the return of life to the highlands of the Alps. When autumn dyes the alpine forest's bronze, a symphony of wild power begins to rumble among the steep valleys. The red deer, known scientifically as Cervus elephas, emerges as the undisputed king of the forest, a monarch who defends his crown with ferocity. With a weight that can exceed 200 kilograms, its physical presence is a statement of dominance and genetic vigor in the heart of the mountain. Its most majestic feature is its antlers of solid bone, a branched structure that can weigh up to 15 kilograms. This cranial armor is renewed each year, growing at an astonishing speed under a velvet layer rich in blood vessels. Upon the arrival of the rutting season, the forest becomes a stage of psychological warfare where silence is replaced by roaring. The roar of the male is a guttural cry of defiance that can be heard at a distance of 5 kilometers through the dense vegetation. This sound is not just a warning, but a measurement tool that allows other males to evaluate the strength and size of their rival. The red deer's lungs expel air with massive pressure, turning its ribcage into a low-frequency biological amplifier. When roaring is not enough to deter the opponent, physical confrontation becomes inevitable on the leaf-covered ground. The rivals walk in parallel, measuring each other with their gaze while displaying their muscular flanks to intimidate the challenger. Suddenly, both turn and charge at each other with a speed of 30 kilometers per hour, lowering their heads for the impact. The clash of the antlers generates a devastating kinetic energy, releasing a force that can reach 6,000 newtons. The sound of the horns clashing echoes like gunshots in the mountain, an echo of the ancestral struggle for the survival of the fittest. Their necks, reinforced with powerful muscles, absorb the pressure of the clash to avoid lethal fractures at the base of the skull. Compared to other ungulates, the red deer's fight is a dance of pushing and endurance, where exhaustion usually decides the winner. The dominant male protects his harem of females with constant vigilance, barely eating or sleeping during the entire rutting period. This strategy ensures that only the genes of the strongest and most resistant individual pass to the next generation of fawns. Once the battles are over, the males lose up to 20% of their body weight due to the extreme effort made. The red deer plays a crucial role as an architect of the landscape, controlling the growth of shrubs and allowing light to reach the ground. Its droppings act as a natural fertilizer that distributes essential nutrients across thousands of meters of forest land. As the primary prey of the grey wolf, the deer maintains the trophic balance that sustains the biodiversity of the highlands. Its life is a cycle of constant renewal, a struggle between the elegance of its form and the brutality of its territorial instincts. In the silence following the rut, the red deer retreats to the thicket to recover and face the winter that already looms on the peaks. It is the guardian of the wild spirit of the Alps, a symbol of natural nobility that persists despite the passage of time. The presence of the deer guarantees that the forest continues to vibrate with the energy of life and the echo of battles for eternity. In the intricate tapestry of alpine nature emerges a figure whose cunning and versatility make it the ultimate survivor of forests and meadows. The red fox, known scientifically as Vulpes vulpes, is the canid with the widest distribution on the planet, occupying from deep valleys to gelid peaks. Its appearance is an ode to functional elegance, with a reddish coat that burns like a flame among the green of the forest or the whiteness of the snow. This small predator, which usually weighs between 5 and 10 kilograms, possesses a lightweight structure that grants it an agility unreachable for its larger relatives. Its bushy tail, which measures close to 40 centimeters long, functions as a precision stabilizer to maintain balance on steep terrains. The senses of the red fox are its greatest tactical advantage, starting with ears capable of detecting frequencies inaudible to the human ear. It can hear the slight squeak of a mouse hidden under 1 meter of snow, or the rustle of a leaf from a distance of 100 meters. It possesses a unique biological superpower, the ability to use the Earth's magnetic field to calculate the exact distance of its prey. When it detects a hidden target, the fox prepares for its most spectacular maneuver, a high-precision parabolic jump. The fox launches itself through the air, reaching a height of 2 meters, and lands vertically on the victim with a lethal impact force. This hunting technique, executed with an almost artistic elegance, has a much higher success rate when the fox attacks oriented toward magnetic north. Its jaw, though small, is equipped with sharp teeth that can exert a pressure of 500 newtons, ideal for capturing rodents and birds. In terms of speed, this forest sprinter can reach 50 kilometers per hour to escape predators like the wolf or the lynx. Unlike other social canids, the red fox usually hunts alone, relying fully on its intelligence and its knowledge of the terrain. Their underground burrows are labyrinths of tunnels that can extend several meters underground, providing a safe refuge against extreme cold. The fox is a complex communicator, using a repertoire of more than 20 different vocalizations, from short barks to penetrating screams. Its ecological role is fundamental, acting as the main regulator of rodent populations in mountain ecosystems. By controlling these small mammals, the fox helps protect plant roots and the biological balance of alpine meadows. As a born opportunist, its diet is one of the most varied in nature, including fruits, insects, and occasionally remains left by large carnivores. The red fox is the personification of resilience, an animal that has learned to prosper even in the presence of human expansion. Its astute gaze and its silent movements place it as the guardian of the secrets of the forest, a red shadow that never stops observing. In the great theatre of wildlife, the fox demonstrates that intelligence is the most powerful tool to conquer adversity. While the sun hides behind the glaciers, the red fox begins its night patrol, ensuring that the cycle of life continues under the stars. At the foundations of the deciduous forest, where roots intertwine with damp earth, dwells a tireless engineer who has dominated the subsoil for millennia. The European badger, known scientifically as Meles meles, is the most robust and powerful member of the mustelid family on the continent. Its appearance is iconic, with a facial mask of black and white stripes that warns other predators of its indomitable nature. With a weight ranging between 10 and 13 kilograms, its body is wedge-shaped, a perfect evolutionary adaptation for life in underground galleries. Its short, muscular legs end in 5 non-retractable claws, massive digging tools that can move tons of earth in a single season. The badger is the architect of sets, complex tunnel systems that can reach a total length of 50 meters and have more than 10 different entrances. These underground fortresses are hereditary, passed down from generation to generation, and some have been continuously occupied for more than 100 years. Although it is mainly nocturnal, the badger possesses an extraordinary sense of smell, capable of detecting an earthworm at 10 centimeters below the surface. Its small eyes are adapted for darkness, but it is its fine hearing that alerts it to any approaching danger through the leaf litter. The badger's diet is astonishingly varied, though it shows a unique specialization in the consumption of earthworms, being able to ingest up to 200 in a single night. As an opportunistic predator, it also hunts small mammals, snails, and amphibians, using its brute force to dig up rodent nests. Its jaw possesses a unique locking mechanism that grants it a bite force of 1,000 newtons, preventing its prey from escaping once caught. Compared to its size, the power of its bite is superior to that of many canids, making it a formidable adversary for foxes and dogs. Its skin is extremely thick and loose, allowing it to turn on itself even if a predator has held it by the neck. When threatened, the badger emits a deep growl and bristles its hair to appear double its real size, a visual intimidation tactic. The badger is a social animal that lives in clans of up to 12 individuals, maintaining a stable hierarchy and cooperating in the cleaning of the set. They are extremely hygienic, building specific latrines outside their tunnels to mark the boundary of their 2 square kilometer territory. During the winter months, the badger does not truly hibernate, but enters a state of deep torpor to conserve energy when food is scarce. Its ecological role is vital, as its excavations aerate the soil and allow the dispersal of fruit seeds it habitually consumes. The badger is the guardian of forest health, a being that balances the populations of insects and small vertebrates under the cloak of night. Its resistance and capacity to transform the landscape confirm it as a fundamental pillar of biodiversity in the lowlands and mountains. In the silence of the dawn, the badger returns to its soil refuge, ensuring that the underground world continues to vibrate with the energy of survival. At the peak of a new era, the summits of the Alps cease to be just a battlefield to become a bastion of hope and life. The international cooperation between 8 sovereign nations has forged a strategic alliance to protect the biological integrity of this unique ecosystem. Currently, more than 100,000 square kilometers of alpine territory are armored under environmental protection laws to guarantee the sovereignty of nature. The The success of the return of the lynx and the bearded vulture after a century of absence demonstrates that human will can reverse the shadows of extinction. State-of-the-art science and technology monitor the pulse of the fauna through satellite telemetry, ensuring an immediate response to any threat. The most critical challenge is to halt the melting of the millenary glaciers, threatened by a projected increase of 2 degrees Celsius in the average temperature. Fostering coexistence between man and large predators like the wolf is fundamental to restoring the balance of power in the mountains. Ecological corridors allow biodiversity to flow freely, connecting isolated habitats to strengthen the genetic lineage of alpine species. The Alpine Massif functions today as a global biological barometer, where each victory in conservation echoes across planet Earth. Our mission is to ensure that the roar of the deer and the flight of the eagle continue to define the majesty of this eternal kingdom of rock and ice. Subscribe to the channel as well as share this video to carry this message of respect far. Each gesture helps protect the wonderful creation of nature